In a multi-cat home, there's a hierarchy of needs that you have to manage every day. And because I'm gone for work most days of the week, I've set things up so those needs are still handled consistently when I'm not there. Automatic litter box keep things clean as possible. Feeders keep meals on schedule until I get home. Grooming, though, still relies on me being present. And that's where things can start to fall behind. I enjoy brushing my cats, but do they enjoy it? I'm not so sure. But with 4 of them, brushing becomes something I'm constantly catching up on instead of staying ahead of. And then of course you notice it on the couch, clothes, and sometimes your coffee. So this isn't about skipping brushing, it's about making sure something is happening even when I'm not at home. So the experiment is simple. Can I build a $35 brushing grooming station that the cats will actually use on their own? If you ever search for cat brush, you've seen these. Wire arches, bristles, big promises. Conceptually, they make sense. In practice though, they're usually a miss. There's also no real reason for them to use it. A random bristled wire loop in the middle of the room doesn't really line up with any natural behavior. But I still ordered one. Not because I thought it would work out of the box, but because it contains the one part I actually need. I'm just harvesting the bristles. So here's the hypothesis. If I put bristles inside a space they already want to pass through, that's stable and secure, I don't need to train brushing at all. If this works, grooming stops becoming a singular event I do every weekend and becomes part of their daily movement. The build itself is intentionally simple, both because, well, I don't have that much DIY skills, but also I want as many people as possible to be able to do the same if they want to try it out. Again, here's the stiff bristles from the cheap arch. I bought 2, so that costs about $20 in total. The arches themselves are pretty easy to bend into the shape I want, and can tighten if need be in the future as the cats get used to it. If you bend the arches this way, you can actually make a spiral that can wrap pretty naturally around the opening of the box. The key difference is where and how they're mounted. Instead of on the floor on some flimsy base, they're fixed inside a heavier, more stable frame. I'll be using this cat corrugated cardboard box I had lying around, and I believe I bought this for around $15. And these types of cardboard boxes are widely available online in all different shapes and sizes. It's pretty sturdy and also doubles as a scratcher. So in total, the arches and the boxes cost me about $35. I wanted to use this box specifically because it had 2 entryways, so a cat has a way of escape if they're cornered. And of course, when a cat leans into this, it cannot move, and that's non-negotiable. Butlers sometimes complain that their cats aren't interested in the fancy things they buy for them. But placement matters more than you think, DIY or not. Remember, cats either move towards something of value or away from something they dislike. I tried it in the corner first, and as expected, no reaction. So I moved it along the window side, closer to the sofa, which is one of their main routes. It has access to sunlight in the higher parts of the room. I also added something familiar. This blanket is one they already sleep on. Sometimes it's not about making something exciting, it's about making it feel like it already belongs. And that did it. The next day I went to work like usual. Checked the pet camera, and that's when it clicked. They were using it. One cat in, another one out. And then when I returned in the evening, I noticed a very interesting behavior. Looks like he's got an itchy head. He doesn't just rub against it, he licks the bristles first. At first I thought there was some snack attached to the bristles, but when he does it again, he wets the bristles and then immediately presses his face or forehead into that exact spot. That's not random. It's basically the same motion they use when they lick their paw and wipe their face. He figured out a way to use it his own way. So, does it work? From a grooming perspective, yes. These bristles are surprisingly good at removing loose hair, which is what I really wanted. This is how it looks after a week of being used by the cats. But here's the honest critique. While it does grooming pretty good, I don't think it's very good at collecting it, as sometimes some of the loose hair falls off of the bristles or blows around in the room. So this automates grooming, but maybe not the cleanup. But it's okay, I have a robotic vacuum for that. For those of you with real DIY skills, I'm sure you guys can improve on this concept. Maybe look for a material or brush with better grip, silicone or rubber, something that actually holds onto hair instead of dropping it. Did my experiment succeed? Maybe I call it a 70% solution at this current iteration. I think as I tighten the bristles over time, it can be even more effective at brushing. The behavior is set, and that usually is the hardest part. The cats use it voluntarily, and brushing no longer depends on my schedule. But let's be real, sometimes the cats make the schedule for you. And when that happens, you have to initiate a deep clean. If you're curious of what that looks like in a small apartment with 4 cats, I'll link my deep clean routine here.